boys and girls, we are back. And it is North and South. Line battle on a fair Saturday evening. As you can see, on the Union side, we have the 32nd Massachusetts, 19th Indianans, US Artillery, 6th Texans, and plenty of others in there as well, as you can see. And also some Michigans. Now, let's see. We're looking at the 24th Virginia, Alabamans, 10th Arkansas, the 5th Virginia. And obviously we've got Maryland in there, and all sorts of funky stuff like that. So, as you can see, these are the numbers. 72 versus 86. So the Confederate state has the advantage. Aha! Colonel Lord John from the 24th Virginia. And that's a Major General Nitek, not in his shiny developer uniform for a change, which is good, because that tends to make him a little bit of a target. And by a little bit, I mean a large amount. So, let's see. As we are... Apologies for the frame rate issue. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Could be a server issue. Hard to say as we're watching the 5th move in. Aha! Bitch. Okay. So, let's see. Okie dokie. So here is the 15th Alabama. Making their way up to the stone wall opposite this housing settlement. So this this means normally that the Union tends to come from this general direction. So because their spawn is over there in the center of the screen, so they tend to make a push into areas such as these. Now that looks to me like a scout. So there is 2nd Massachusetts, Private Sentinel. He is in there doing a little bit of scouting, checking to see what's going on. Now, obviously there's the bridge. Now, if we make our way over to the stone bridge over here, this is pretty much where you'll see most of the battles occur between the two sides. Let me guess. Is that Lenin? Who else would it be but Comrade Lenin? From the 2nd Kentucky. And they're taking some cannon fire, as you can see. Poor old Nutty Pig getting shot in the head. AU catching a cannonball from Drevin. So you can see here, this is the stone bridge. Now, the problem is with this stone bridge is it's very narrow. So you have problems getting across here. Any kind of significant way. As you can see, a few people died. Oh dear. There's Nubas 13. Currently at one with nature. And you can see the United States Marine Corps taking some fire over the other side of the breach. Over the other side of the bridge even. Now, what's he doing there? The bitch is... Oh dear. So you can see here, fine fellows from Michigan. And down the side here, Colonel Lord John from the 24th Virginia. Now, he's got to be very careful because he's going to run into problems in these cornfields because of the ambush by shirtless Scotsmen and 2nd Lieutenants. Oh no, Nubas 13 has been taken out with a nice... Aha! It's a submarine horse. Hello, submarine horse. Complete with a Nitek. So you can now see Major General Nitek in there with his binocs to find out what's going on. And maybe get in for a sneaky 6-shooter session. So there we have Nitek. Now over the other side are his forces who are defending this stone bridge. Now you can see North Carolina having a little bit of a battle. Look at that fire coming in from the hills. Oh, wow. So you can see here, there's Comrade Lenin being supported by his teams and his cohorts behind him on the opposing side. And here are Union troopers from the 32nd Massachusetts. Oh, wow. Look at that. Don't these fine fellows look wonderful? Ensign Meh. And there is Volunteer Aledian in the 19th Indianans. And over here, aha, it's Colonel Voodoo from Indiana. The fine commander of the 19th Indiana, complete with Dark Corps. And who's this? Captain William from the Iron Brigade. They're from the 6th Texan. O'Finnegan. Oh, look at this. Right, now what's up here? Is this the Union Army commanders? It could be. Major General Lance from the 32nd Massachusetts. Veteran Ompuff. Private Judas Priest. And Corporal Reginus. So those guys are in there, obviously observing the battle. Waiting to see what occurs. Now you've obviously got these guys here are firing back against the Dixieland attackers. Ooh, good shots indeed. Volunteer Picket. Or Veteran Private Picket, in fact. So you can see here the 19th Indiana doing a little bit of a number on the 15th Alabama. And here we go. General Janet coming in, taking down Volunteer Moore. Little bit of a team kill going on. As you can see. General Janet now taken down by Aledian. So they have now lost their general. As you can now see the 19th Indianans moving into this homestead to deal with the Confederate state troops. So we're looking at Marius here trying to deal with one of these Union. Recruit cow. Moo. Moo indeed. Watch out for the battle moo. Okay, well, he's a hamburger now, so. The battle moo was unsuccessful. Poor recruit cow. And we're now watching the 5th Virginia waiting for an opportunity to ambush the opposing forces. Now, look at his Kubi in there, trying to deal with members of the Confederate State Army. As you can see, they're all in the battle. They've come flying out of this particular area. Unfortunately for them, now, from the 2nd KY, yes, as in that's Kentucky, nothing else, before you guys get the wrong idea completely. I was about to say the wrong end of the stick, but that's also a bad term, but anyway. So it looks like the Confederate State Army has been successful on this side of the bridge. Now, what they will be doing is moving up to support their teammates over here. Oh, Comrade Lenin manages to pick up a pistol. Look at that. So he's in there with a nice axe and musical power. And now it looks like the Union forces are up here on one side, taking a little bit of fire. Oh, yeah, not looking good for them. So there we go. The 19th Indiana, I think, have been wiped out to a man. 29 alive, 53. So let's see. There is Recruit Matthew from the artillery. And here is, of course, the fine fellows. Ah, there is the maker of hot tubs himself, Mr. Noonan. So, Mr. J. Noonan, no less. Ouch, he just got shot in the back. So he's not happy. Ah, that's why, because coming in on Lance's position are the Confederate State Army. As you can see, brave defenders, the 4th US Artillery and Sir Hal, doing their best to defend the charging Confederate State Army. Led by, obviously, the pistol-packing Comrade Lenin, complete with drum. Now, obviously, these guys looks like they're trying to circumvent the existing forces. As the Michigans are Elling, very nice, taking down OMG potatoes. As the 32nd Massachusetts with a nice kill onto Sergeant Cowboy from North Carolina. And you can see over here Here we go, coming through the smoke, coming through the bushes. Come, the Confederate State Army. And there is Samuel Shipley taking down poor old Sir Hal. In goes Lenin with the pistol. Oh, there we go. Takes down Judas Priest. Shoots the commanding officer in the back. Comrade Lenin. Wow. You don't mess with your musicians, boys and girls. Just don't do it. So, poor old Lance is now dead. And we're looking at Mihar there as well. From Kentucky, trying to deal with the fact that he hasn't got a shirt. And now, let's see, 7 members of the Union troop are departing, complete with Sergeant Eddie, Private Drevlin, Recruit Matthew, and Major Nozzer. Sergeant Major Nozzer, no less. Now, unfortunately for him, he's got the entire Confederate State Army after them. So these guys making their way back towards the cornfield. Stop running. What do you expect? They've got the entire Confederate State Army after them. What do you expect? Oh, dear. So, Drevin, the fight in the cornfield. The last stand of Philadelphia artilleryman Private Drevin. And that was over fast. Oh, dear. So there's 1 Union trooper remaining. So let's see if we can find out where they are. The trouble is, it could take forever to find them. Oh dear. Who is that person? Masterborn 12. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. And he got slayed. We're on to the next round, boys and girls. And we have returned to the Union spawn for the next round. As you can see. Captain America! Moving out with other members of the 32nd Massachusetts. 19th Indiana. And Captain William from the Iron Brigade. Looking wonderful. So, leading Captain Hugo from the 32nd Massachusetts. And looks like, oh dear. Right, apparently, there's been a little bit... I really thought somebody was wearing a trifle on their head. Okay. So, let's see what's going on. Oh, fire coming in from Alabama. Look at that. Lovely fire. Complete with General Janik. And there is, of course, Second Lieutenant Eriner. Right, so they do have a little bit of an issue. The CSA don't spawn with an arty train, which means they can't actually move the artillery, which, as you can imagine, could be a bit of a problem. So here's Major General Lance looking on one side, from the side of the river here. And this is their... oh, they love this spawn area. Or this ambush area. Look at this. These boys love that. Just absolutely fantastic little area here. And it's just... the most difficult thing I tend to find, especially in these kind of games, is the fact that it's hard to keep the guys quiet, waiting for the opportunity at which to strike. So let's move on. From Virginia, Major Davis. And you can see the 19th Indiana trading fire with Engineer Harrison. So here we go. Here is First Lieutenant Harper. And Volunteer Titan. So let us make our way carefully across the stone bridge. And there's Corporal Wade. from the 6th Texans, making use, along with his friends, of this fine, sturdy wall for protection against enemy fire. There's Master Born, who seems to be at one with the Khorne. So here we go. So this is the fire that's being traded by the stone bridge. Now here's a Nitek, as you're aware. So you can see him making his way towards the stone bridge. Recruit Thunder, who is currently waiting in the ambush area. From 19th Indianans. And there you can see Major General Lance, who is making his way over to the left-hand side. Now, he's obviously scouting out with his troops the best area for an attack. Here is the fine fellow himself. So, let's see what's going on, because you have Union troops, the 32nd Massachusetts, guarding this particular area. Now, if I remember rightly, there could be some Confederate State Army troops. Nope, they're still in that cornfield. Which means they're waiting. There are some Confederate State troops on the other side of the river, so at least they are trading fire with the Union troopers. So you can see here, as we move in closer. So there we go, 15th Alabamans. On to Pickett. Mr. Finty! Yeah. So, you can see now Lance waiting on the other side of the hill. Obviously calling the 32nd Massachusetts towards him. And they could potentially make a move across here. But the trouble is they could end up in a rather nasty ambush. Thanks to these devious and underhand sods. From the 15th Alabama, Corporal Punishment and friends. So, let's see. Putina Dama, Sergeant Major of the 19th Indiana, trading fire across the river. Oh no! Colonel Lord John taken out with a nice headshot indeed. There he is. There's Lenin. Okay, those drummings come to an end. Oh dear. Colonel Sergeant Pepper from the 2nd KY. That is what you call a determined drummer. Comrade Lenin. And down goes Samuel Shipley. Poor old Sam. Nice kill there from Drevin into Private Downs and Samuel Shipley. So let's see. Okay, it looks like now the Union troops here from the 19th Indiana are pushing up into the cornfields to try and outflank the likes of these fellows. Now you can see here 5th Virginia, Captain Robert E. Lee, as now IK Hopper and friends are returning fire. Now, here we go. Scotland, the Scotland 321. The question is, how are they going to deal with this particular issue? Because these guys are out in the open field. So 19th Indiana are still taking down people as they move in. So it looks like a fire in advance line that they are doing here at the moment. Making use of available cover. And Nitek is taken down. The 6th Texan takes down Major General Nitek. And a little bit of team killing going on as well. But it looks like the 19th Indiana doing a good job of taking people out as they go. So you've got obviously the 5th Virginia here. And these guys making use of the stone wall. Oh, okay, he won't be making use of the stone wall. But the likes of Rubel and so on and so forth will. So you can see now the fire coming in from these guys. Oh, we got to go and look at Mr. Noonan's house. So, oh heavens, look at that. Got to enjoy the house of Mr. J. Noonan. The defense is a very defensive-minded house, I have to say. Look at that. I have to say I haven't seen a lot of spikes on houses these days. Now, you know, obviously, in my case, that would be a bad idea because I'll end up stabbing myself with something. Which is why I don't have a lot of sharp knives or forks in my house. Oh dear. Captain Museal taken out. Scotland 321. Who's this riding around? There's Brigade Captain William. So you can see here, it looks like Corporal Cookie's taking down Artillery Sahal. So these guys making use of the cover that's available to them. They're trying to clear out these guys here. Now, obviously, they've moved from within this cornfield to behind the cover of the stone wall. Warhammer Dwarf, Colour Sergeants. Oh dear, as Rubel unfortunately catches a cannonball there with a lovely shot. Let's see what's over here. Is this the Union cannons, I wonder? No, it just does appear to be standard Union troopers, 6 Texans. So the trouble is, those guys against the wall are now in a bad position because they are outflanked. Whoops, careful, William. As they are now being shot at. Yeah, it looks like they've now backed up because they were taking fire too badly. And they've now backed up to this location here, where less fire is affected upon them. So let's just move on. Demonic Ape. Wonderful name, sir. We are big fans of Demonic Apes here. And you can see here, Recruit Garanai. Now, let's see. As they move in, what are they attacking? Looks like this. Oh! Veteran Pickett. Taken down. Finn T also working with his friends here. As you can see, this looks to be a defensive encampment of the Confederate State Army. Oh dear, hang on, let's go around and have a look again. Okay, let's see what's going on with the house. Oh god. Oh, for God's sake. Dear oh dear. Can't type. Still can't type. So, yeah, that's what you call a seriously spiky house. Anyway. So, Jackie O'Carroll from 32nd Massachusetts. Looks like they're moving in to try and take out as many of those as possible. You've got a nice small little line of the Confederate State Army under Colonel Sergeant Pepper trying to move out from the 2nd Connecticut. Or, sorry, 2nd Kentucky. There, of course, is drummer extraordinaire Comrade Lenin. So these guys now moving in, probably, let's see, making use of the horses, the trees even. But they might be doing an outflanking manoeuvre on the 32nd Massachusetts. Here we go. Yes, they are. As Kentucky Sergeants, or Kentucky Colonel, I should say, Sergeant Pepper captures a bullet. And a welcome return, obviously, to Sergeant Pepper, whose machine has been dead for quite some time. So, a welcome return for him, although the bullets also welcome him back as well. So, never mind. So, the 32nd Massachusetts now trying to deal with these guys. Unfortunately, they have kind of planted where they are by using the flag as... Oh no, Lenin! Oh, Lenin is dead. And Dravin kills members from the Philadelphia Artillery. Kills multiple members of the 10th Arkansas. Lovely shot indeed. Very nice indeed. As we are now moving in on the 19th Indiana, making their way through this cornfield, looking for enemy. Colonel Voodoo, currently alive and vertical, which is always a good thing where commanders are concerned. We are We are in great favour of verticality on this channel. And let's see what's going on. More fire coming in from the 32nd Massachusetts. 25 versus 52. What the hell's going on? This is interesting. You've now got the 32nd Massachusetts being quite... Oh, that was a nice cannonball. Being pretty aggressive here, as you can see. Going up against these guys now. Oh dear. Poor old Flemmy taken down. Galadian, I think that was. Sorry, my apologies. So there's Sparto in there as well. You've also got Captain America. And my name is Earl. So this was essentially the 7th Cavalry. They are now in as 32nd Massachusetts. So let's see. Volunteer Bruce. No more volunteering for him. As we are now looking at 22 versus 50 odd. Colonel Arcturus from the 17th Michigans. Apologies. Taken down by Punisher. These guys moving in to see if they can take down this poor sod, who is the last man standing. Correction, this poor sod, who is now the last man standing. Karl Marx decides to bugger off as quickly as possible, but stood no chance as he was being attacked from multiple directions. Now, hopefully, this means that... Oh, that was Mr. J. Noonan who killed him. Ah, good stuff. And it looks like now the Union troops will clear that up. And that appears to be a successful campaign there by the Union troop. And they have captured the colours of the Confederate State Army. And we shall wait and see what happens, as there are 19 members of the Confederate State Army remaining. There is Major General Lance commanding. And we are waiting to see what's happening, as Drevin is now cannonballing people left, right and centre. Tiger, unfortunately, not ducking at the right moment. And here appears to be the last stand of the Confederate State Army. The Confederate States Army, my apologies. Oh, Nelly, look at that. Everyone turning around is like, what was that? Oh, that was a cannonball killing our friends, is what that was. So, here we go. Oh, dear. So, Erenor there from 15th Alabama. Major General Lance getting all his troops into position. Waiting for the moment. Ooh. Bouncy cannonballs. And, of course, Lieutenant General Janik. Or Yannick, I should say. My apologies. So, he is maintaining order on his troops. Here we go. This is what we're looking at. This is the Union forces moving in. Oh no, Captain William taken out. So let's move up high. Look at those bouncing cannonballs coming in the direction of the enemy. From the Union artillery. No! Mr. Noonan, maker of hot tubs, has been murdered. So you can see here, this is the defensive position of the Confederate States. Here we go, as you can see. Moving in, and cannonballs come bouncing over the top as we move down in towards the battle. Here we go, Union troopers charging in to take out what remains of the Confederate State Army. The Confederate States Army. Let's follow. Oh dear, General Yannick's lost his horse. Is he soon going to lose his life? So many people to aim at. He hits one. Gets out. He's going to binocular him to death. Oh, he's got to deal with multiple attackers. Oh, poor Yannick. This is not going to go well. Oh. Outnumbered there by sheer Numbers, that was just so unfortunate. And there are two members... two members of the Confederate State Army. So Dennis June and Volunteer Billion. So, these two guys standing here, obviously, they decided to get legless at a bridge. There we go. So, there's Billion there, who's just minding his own business. Can't slay him for some reason. There we go. And we're on to the next round, boys and girls. Okay, so we are back now. Because there is a small bug issue, what Nitek has done is he has transported an artillery train to the Confederate State Army. Now, what that means is that they can then use that to, see this guy here, he can then transport the artillery to their specified location, which is good news. So, as assassination of horses occurs, courtesy of Legless Fruler, and of course over here Major Davis from the 5th Virginia is making his way out from the spawn. Now this is after a map change, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens. As you can see, masses of orchards here for people to get hugely lost in. As you can see, these guys currently completely lost by the looks of it. There's Captain Vince from the 10th Arkansas. And making their way through, complete with Major Nozza, of course, the bikini girl of choice. No three-dimensional bird, I notice. Damn. Okay, so Colonel Lord John from 24th Virginia. Now, this is the map. Let's get up high and get an idea of what's involved. So you can see, starting off over there, the opposing forces, in this case the Union Army, will be spawning over there, as you can see in the centre of the screen, puffs of smoke already. Lots of open fields, which for these kind of rifles is a great thing. Either the Lee Enfield or the Springfields, both brutally accurate in this particular era. Obviously in comparison to Napoleonic times rather than modern times, as a World War II, etc., etc. Now, let's see. If they can get into these cornfields, then it is to their advantage because they can make use of the cover that is available along the edges and also the additional cover that is provided to them. So you can see here, there is Colonel George Hazard and his colleague, looking wonderful, Private Shadow, trying to get the cannons into some kind of suitable position. As you can see, horses don't reverse very well. As we're following Major General Lance as he reviews his troops, as you can see, 19th Indiana now moving forward as we follow them through the corn. We've also got this fine collection of fellows from the 6th Texans. So, you can see them. Oh, looks like they decided to move back because they suddenly started coming out. Okay, that's interesting. A drummer on a horse as they started to come under a little bit of fire. So let's see what's going on. So, bear in mind, they are coming across to these fences. They do have the benefit of the fence to cover them, but they will be taking fire. So you can see here, they've got all the length of this cornfield to get behind the cover of these fences. And as you can see over the far side here, you've got some fire coming in from the Union troops. There you go, the 32nd Massachusetts. Oh, the nutty pig with a nice shot, headshot onto Private Sparto. So here you go, here is 32nd Massachusetts. The nutty pro. Have to say, that's a pretty damn good headshot from that distance. I mean, you're talking, what, 150 meters maybe? Possibly, based on the rough guesstimate of size of people. Might be near 200 meters, difficult to say actually. But so it's a good shot. It's a good shot. Here are the Confederate States Army. Yay, Comrade Lenin. And that is Comrade Lenin's horn. Oh, here we go. They're building tents again. Warhammer Dwarf in the process of building his tent. Ah, a legless musician. Engineer Harrison. So you can see here, Major Davis looking over to the left-hand side. Now, obviously, we can see what's engaging his interest over here on the left side. Now, I'm guessing this will be detachment of Union troops. It is. Actually, it's more to do with Alucard there. Teabagging one of the commanders. It's got to be done. It's actually Confederate state troops dealing with Union troops. Oh dear. Cookie just stabbed Warhammer Dwarf for building a tent. And we're looking at the 6th Texan, who are in the process of trying to engage the Confederate state forces over here. With a nice kill on to Recruit Quester, as you can see. So these guys... Oh no, Masterborn. Just shot in the face by Tiger. So these guys... Okay. Alright. That was maybe aiming for the two-dimensional bird if he's out today. So let's move around. Okay. Tolkor, who is completely lost. Completely lost in the orchard out there. Or maybe going for a scout. Who's to say? But this is the wonderful 19th Indiana. Oh no! Colonel O'Finnegan taken down by D'Artagnan. And... just random horse. Ah, look at this. It's a General Yannick. What could he be up to? Ah, look at this. Union Trooper versus Confederate State General. This is going to be tricky. Oh, Ghost with a swing. Let's watch this from the trooper's point of view. Oh no! Tolkor knocked to the ground. Yannick, don't kill our scout. Oh dear. So the question is, will Tolkor be able to do anything with him? So Tolkor has decided to back off, but he needs to watch his back, because there should be a Yannick knocking around somewhere. So it looks like their scout has now decided to move back. Oh, what was that? That was a large explosion. Explosion! So you can see there, explosion of the howitzer. Private Shadow firing said howitzer. So let's see. Okay, I don't know what he's doing there. Okay, that's interesting. And you can see the howitzer shot going over the top. Oh, just landing behind. And he's going for that tent. He's obviously bitterly opposed to tenting. Emo Slayer. You don't need to slay emos, they cut themselves. as we're looking at IK Hopper and Private Niara and Private AU. And of course, the slippery musician himself. There we go. George Hazard taking down Cody Banks and Major Davis. Lovely shot. Now, who's this standing up on the fence? He's going to get shot. Oh, it's Colonel Pepper. Colonel Sergeant Pepper, no less. There's somebody, Samuel Shipley, who's basically sneaking around looking for targets. So let's see. Waiting. From the 17th Michigan. Waiting for the inevitable. The 32nd Massachusetts. For that moment where they charge. The opposing forces. With Ensign Meh covering the far left-hand side. And an almighty big sod-off gun. Being controlled by Private Shadow. Who has got the most ridiculous firing capacity I've ever seen. Oh, there we go, he's taking shots. So he took a shot from one of the guys inside here, which is a bit sneaky. The likes of Corporal Cookies. Oh god. And Ruble in there as well. These guys are being very sly. So let's see if we can find out what Noonan has done this time. So looking around on Puff, Hester McGo, Wilhelm, Private Shadow. Oh, look at all these people. So many people. There's Pain Mace, there's 211 Tiger. Oh god. Look at that, he's even included parking for horses. Isn't that nice? Look at that. A nice tent, complete with an explosive box to rest on. Yeah, here's a guy who's got a lot of spare time. So he's trying to get up there so he can put a flag on the top of his little fort of spikiness. As a cannonball bounces right past it. So obviously there's Eddie in there observing. So he's having trouble getting his flag up there, which is a bit unfortunate. As the actress said to the Bishop, no doubt. So here is one of the other artillery pieces. Bombardier Mike. And Museal from the 19th Indiana, as they are now moving forward. So let's see. They are moving down by the side of... See, this is a pretty big outflanking manoeuvre. I wonder if they're trying to get around the back. The trouble is, it's such a big map that it's going to take them a while to do that outflanking manoeuvre. I think they may have changed their mind and decided to go back. So as we look over here, Union forces have been overwhelmed by the Confederate state. Excuse me. And we can now see them. Oh dear, poor Mr. Bojangles. Taken down. Oh, and there goes Private Alu. So. Oh dear, Alucard taken out. Oh, nice return there from D'Artagnan into Volunteer Elling. And poor old Alucard, the engineer, is no more. So his teammate picks up his axe and makes off with it, which is only fair. So, let's see. Good. Standard short carbine there. Nice rifle. And that is a... See, oh, look at that. Oh, up on top again. I think he's being bricked in. So that's the last guy being bricked in. So there's Sergeant Eddie being bricked into the defence. That's just cheeky. So you can see now the cannon firing down towards the Confederate State Army troops that are now charging in. As you can see, the likes of Samuel Shipley. Oh, they've set off an explosive box. And the horses have escaped. The attack horses have been released. Lord John moving in. T.O. team killing Major General Lance with a pretty fine headshot, we have to admit. So you can see now, obviously they're trying to deal with things as they're moving in to attack the Union forces. Oh, multiple members of the Union forces now. Oh dear, this is the Jane Union. Now, the thing is, there are some people out there who would accuse the Union of camping. Yeah, I think under the circumstances, I think based on this fort design, they do have some merit in that accusation. Oh dear. No, well, never mind. So you can see now mass battles out here. As you can see, oh, there's veteran Onpuff, I should say, trying to deal with the enemy from the 32nd Massachusetts. And who's this last fellow? 5th Virginia. There we go. Oh, another stab into another member of the Captain Hugo, I think that is. So. Oh, heavens. There's Private Hamilton. Battle Gravy. Recruit Battle Gravy. Oh, with a nice kill into Corporal Cookies from the 5th Virginia. Then avoiding the bullet fired at him. And we shall watch the Battle Gravy himself making his way in for... Oh dear. Sorry, Battle Gravy. The Observer Cam curse strikes again. He has been well and truly solidified. Oh dear. Colonel Wilhelm, Colour Sergeant, oops, and okay, Hafford, them being team killed. Oh dear, by Sark here. Oh dear me, never mind. So here is the artillery. And we shall move in because obviously volunteer OMG potatoes, and we are looking now. Let's see what's going on. Is this OMG? No, it's Private Teddy from Michigan going after multiple members around him. Oh, look at this, he's having trouble. Oh, stab, sir. Teddy with a lovely stab into the enemy. We're watching steady. Teddy, doing his thing. And now he's looking for more. And unfortunately, he was too steady and got stabbed in the chest. So, 5 Confederate versus 2 Union. Now, where are those 2 Unions? Okay. Well, there's one of them. Cannibals incoming. So there we go. Billion. That's why. Kill Billion. Oh, there we go. He's being ramrodded to death. And finally got slayed. So we're back shortly with the next round. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the next round, as that was the final round. My apologies there, guys. I thought I should let you know. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the admins for doing this. And thank you to the players for getting involved. We appreciate you coming, and we appreciate you watching. And we shall see you again for more North and South. Take care.